Anything is possible. Do I believe Jussie Smollett is guilty? Yes. Do I know that? No, I don't. Same with this. Do I believe Joly is innocent? No. It seems like the probability is there that she's the one that was the he is the one that was the arsonist. There is a lot of fake hate crimes. I do believe this is going to end up being one of them. Do I know that for sure right now? No. Let's not take a position.
It's not just about the money. It's about my reputation. It's about everything.
Look, just let me beat your ass and I get on Empire.
We gotta rehearse. Let's go.
Hey everybody, Roger here. Hope you guys are all having a great day. Want to talk to you guys today about a supposed Jussie Smollett similar hoax-like scenario with an individual named Nikki Joly. Nikki Joly is a 50-year-old biologically born woman who currently identifies as a man. Now, Nikki Joly was a couple of things about Nikki Joly is she's married to Chris Moore. Chris Moore is a biological woman. That's his longtime girlfriend. And Joly has a daughter, but I don't know who from. So it's all biological women in this relationship, family, whatever. And I'm confused about the whole thing.
I may be able to pick up on things quickly, but I do not understand things very easily.
I know I'm smarter than most people.
Joly also helped organize the city's first gay community center and was also the co-organizer of the city's first gay festival, and she volunteers with the Pride Parade, the Pride Center, she volunteers at the Red Cross, and at a local food pantry, among other places around the neighborhood. And one of the biggest highlights in her life and her career was that she earned Citizen of the Year. So now what's happened? Basically, Nikki Joly's house was burned down on August 10th, 2017. And initially it was looked at as a hate crime and investigated as a hate crime as such. And if you don't believe in privilege, that's privilege right there. Otherwise, people would be assuming all these other things. So yeah, she's got a little bit of privilege by allowing this to be looked at as a hate crime. We all have privilege. Again, I argue this quite a bit of times in all of my videos, but yeah, it was looked at as a hate crime in a town where she says it's mostly people who are anti-gay and whatnot. This community, and I should start calling her a he, because that's what he identifies as. So I will do my best. If I can't, forgive me. So he lives in a conservative town and has allegedly received threats before. Again, I say allegedly because I haven't gone back out into the history of this individual's background, but there was an instance 2 weeks prior to this, the house being set on fire, that he received letter from Robert Tulloch, basically saying that he didn't like the idea that there was going to be a rainbow flag being put up for gay pride in City Park. But he wrote a letter and saying that putting up a flag in the City Park was a declaration of war, and that it will be met with a violent response. Those were the words that he used. You've been hit by a smooth criminal. So they investigated him initially, but it turned out he was making a bank deposit at a bank, and it has been confirmed that was the case during that timeline of events. So with that, everybody's kind of in shock, like, okay, well, if this guy didn't do it, then who did? Well, the officers later arrested Joly himself on September 2018, it was a year and a month after it all happened, 13 months. So now the community is not outraged, but they're shocked. They're just like, this person, this individual who's done so much for this community and gay rights and whatnot, activist, did this, or is being arrested and allegedly did this. So I don't know what to think at this point. I've read so many articles about this, and I'm going to go ahead and drop some middle information here about other things I've read that you probably aren't going to hear on any other commentary videos. I'm probably going to be focusing on this and the allegation as true.
Oh my god, I'm a victim of a hate crime, but there's really no way to tell who did it. Because more and 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 more, we find out that this is entirely fake. I'm not trying to in any way stipulate or argue or suggest or allege that hate crimes do not exist. They absolutely do. Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 is a reality we all have to bear. But the point is, no, seriously, they do exist. They do exist. But it always feels like the high profile ones are always fake.
I don't think the allegation right now stands as true. It's an allegation, but this woman had a difficult upbringing. This doesn't have anything to do with her current situation, but she had a difficult upbringing, and her mother gave her up for adoption when she was young, because she couldn't afford to keep her, and then she was transferred around foster home to foster home to foster home, and then she finally landed into this one couple, a religious couple. I don't remember what religion, but when she was 15 years old and she came out, they let her go and they abandoned her. Now, I think there were some reporters who tried interviewing that family, that couple, but they refused to respond. Now that tells me that they're either either embarrassed, knowing that the public knows that they would abandon kids that way, a child that way, I mean, or number two, they just don't want anything to do with her. So yeah, she's had a difficult upbringing in that respect, that she was, she probably didn't really get a chance to cling to people, so she's kind of a needy person is what I would assume. And that maybe factors into what kind of a person she is now. A lot of her community, people around the community, cops have asked, how do you describe her? She could be manipulative, she could be deceptive, she could be challenging. She doesn't like to be, and I keep saying I'm sorry, he doesn't like to, when he says he's right, he's right. He doesn't like conflict, apparently. And but other than that, I think a lot of people see the fact that this person tries to be a hero to the LGBTQπ community.
I can say that's gay. See? Gay. It's not even Saturday yet. It's the day before Saturday. Yay! Look! Gay Moments by Nick. Hey. And Bacto, do it. Hell and fuck. Yay!
With everything that person has done, with everything that he has done. I had to bring all that up because this isn't a cut and dry case. Right now, this person is taken into custody, or they're going to have a trial, I think on March 8th, next month. So in about a week, there's going to be a trial. And I'm getting ahead of myself here on that, but there will be a trial to find out more information on here, because right now it's similar to the Jussie Smollett case in that there's accusation and of certain scenarios, and anything is possible. All sides are saying something in the Jussie Smollett case. Jussie Smollett could be innocent still, we just don't know. Maybe that check was for personal training, or maybe he said, oh, maybe guys, we should just write down personal training on here so nobody knows that we're setting up something, hint hint.
I have to get Empire back into my family.
If you think you're the real Jamal Lion, then me and Cookie are going to Wakanda.
You don't understand. It's not just about the money. It's about my reputation. It's about everything.
Look, just let me beat your ass and I get on Empire.
We gotta rehearse. Let's go.
So anything is possible still. We'll have to wait until the hearing. Same thing with this. I'm looking at all this. So on that day, he decides to wake up, go to the gas station, buy $10 worth of gas, and goes and cuts the lawn in the morning. And then he takes off to church, and I believe his wife said, hey, can you go home and get me some lunch or something? And let me backtrack. So he was mowing the lawn outside the yard, and then it got too hot and he got tired, so he left it there. And again, he probably put gasoline in the lawnmower, and so then he takes off and goes, I believe, to the church, wherever his wife is, and the wife says, hey, can you go back home and get me something to eat or lunch or whatever. And they only have one car, so he Joly drives back home, was there for 5 minutes, and then drives back. Well, during that time frame is when the fire happened. And a couple of things here, the officers, when they were trying to point evidence, they went with a lot of hearsay. They also said, the clothing that he had traces of gasoline on it. Well, yes, that could be because of the lawnmower, but then there was also traces found inside the house that started the fire. So I'm not sure. That's not conclusive enough to me. I mean, there could still be something within that 5-minute window. I think it's a very, very, very off chance. But again, there are people here who are taking sides. There's even in the community, there's half of the people taking the side of Joly, and then there's the other half that are taking the side of or Joly being innocent, and then there's the other side that says that he is guilty. And I still don't see either at this point. Again, we're gonna have to wait for more evidence, the court hearings to take place, and we'll see what happens from there.
The FBI first looked at the fire as a possible hate crime in August of 2017, but investigators say cell phone records and physical evidence eventually led them to the homeowner, Nikki Joly. Joly later stopped at the home to grab his partner's lunch and check on their dogs. The fire started a few minutes after he left. Joly's lawyer calls it an unfortunate coincidence. A neighbor told police within a few days after the fire, Joly asked to store the gas can at the neighbor's house. He asked another neighbor to hold his lawnmower. Police seized both as evidence.
But right now, everybody is just jumping the gun. And even a lot of people on YouTube are jumping the gun. I think everybody, or a lot of people, are basically looking at the Jussie Smollett case and thinking, oh, it's another fake hate crime. Let's make a video about this. Well, again, that's the flaw of a lot of people. They want to just go ahead and assume these things and assume that all the way down the line, hate crimes are going to be fake because of Smollett.
Where's your brother?
Look, my Tundo he's 5 minutes away, okay? I can do this by myself. Let's do it.
Okay, man, let's rehearse, okay?
Rehearse? What did we just do? For 5 hours. I got this. You said, beat your ass, I get on Empire. Beat your ass, I get on Empire.
Okay, let's just go. Go.
Oh my goodness gracious, Lord.
Oh my.
Or fake because of, fakehatecrimes.org and whatnot. Again, people, it's not about taking a side. It's about looking at the information piece by piece by piece, and then trying to see what the possibilities are of all directions. This person sounds like they're a good person, but then when with Joly sounds like a good person with what he has done for the community, what he has done for the gay community in general. And look, I believe in equal rights for everybody. I don't believe in special treatment rights for anyone. And I could praise him for doing what he's done, and I could see the passion in that. However, the people who have talked about what kind of person Joly is in private are saying a lot of different things, a lot more about his attitude, negativity, deception, confrontational, I guess. So there's all these judgments. You really, just because somebody's a hero, just because you admire somebody, I can admire people. Look, Pet Shop Boys just released a new album, and there's one song in particular in that album that I have so much again that I'm looking at it like, you guys watch too much fake news. And Pet Shop Boys, top three bands of all time for me. But you know what? Even with people that I admire and like, you can't just say, oh, they're right because I like them. Joly is not right because people like her. Joly could be guilty or innocent whether you like her or not in this case. Let's piece the puzzles together. Let's stop playing favorites. Even in the Jussie Smollett case, I've even mentioned in my last video, I don't know if the guy is guilty or innocent or not. The officers have said some, all these statements, and there was, I posted it on my Twitter, there was a great statement of events, about 20 minutes long, that you can go watch. It's on my Twitter if you want to watch it. It outlines in a specific timeline exactly what happened in the Jussie Smollett case. So anything is possible. Do I believe Jussie Smollett is guilty? Yes. Do I know that? No, I don't. Same with this. Do I believe Joly is innocent? No. It seems like the probability is there that she's the one that was he is the one that was the arsonist. And here's the part that really pisses me off. If it is true that this individual is guilty, there were 5 pets, 2 dogs and 3 cats that were inside that house when it burnt down. A neighbor knew when he saw the fire, knew that there was pets in there, tried to break the door down and go in, but it was too hot, and that person couldn't. So at least you're a good-hearted soul enough to try. More praise to you, whoever you are. And then the firefighters, after they were done, they were trying to open the door, but one of the dog's bodies was in front of the door, so they had a hard time opening it. I mean, think about that. That dog, all the animals, but that dog in particular there tried to get out through the door, probably trying as hard as possible, and died struggling to get out. That's sad. That's extremely sad. And if this Joly person is that heartless to some beings, people, animals, or whatever, that for a personal whatever reason is in his head would want to set a fire and hurt others to make a point. Again, one of the biggest things that's being used as evidence, that's being used as a potential lead, is the fact that there was one of the people in the community that said, hey, this person was really upset that all the recent events that we've had have not bumped up. I'm sorry, I'm not going to say this right, but all the recent events that were had in regards to the gay rights movement in this town weren't adding up to publicity, and it wasn't getting special attention. And I'm just like, well, that's not a reason to start a fire. So I think maybe the officers were assuming that he wanted to stage a hate crime, because again, it was investigated as a hate crime, and I think that this person, Joly, wanted to basically put it out in the light and say, this is not a problem. See, there's stuff happening here.
Please disperse. Nothing to see here, please.
Turns out to be a Jussie Smollett thing. Again, I'm not saying Jussie Smollett's innocent or guilty at this point. I'm assuming he's going to be found guilty. But if it turns out to be this scenario, you are a cold individual. 5 pets, 5 living beings, living creatures. You decide that you want to go ahead and blow up your own house, set it on fire, set it ablaze. I don't know. It's pretty sad. Barbara Shelton. Barbara Shelton is the one who provided the statement, basically saying that Joly was frustrated that the controversy over gay rights had died down, and that the Jackson Pride Parade and Festival held 5 days before the fire hadn't received more attention or protests. Now that last part, or protests, he hadn't received any protests. So it seems like Joly wanted this conflict between the community to continue. She was expecting or wanting and desiring protests from the opposition, from his opposition, from Joly's opposition, from the LGBT. She wanted there to be conflict. Why? And this is why I brought up her past. Somebody who's been thrown left and right between families, which again is sad, not an excuse for any action that you do, but maybe never got the attention that he needed or she needed when she was young. Now is trying to find the attention and continue the attention as an adult. Therefore, they started this fire, and we'll build on that to make it look like it was a hate crime. Assumptive. It's assumptive at this point. And again, that's all we can work with until we go to the hearing and see what happens in March 8th. I see it here in my notes. And and another thing too, a close acquaintance of the church, that Shelton person that I just mentioned, stated that unknown to church officials, Joly secured nonprofit status for the center. 1 year after the Pride Center opened, Joly broke it away from the church, This hurt Shelton personally, and she felt betrayed because she was the one who secured original funding for the center in applying for several grants. And so again, you see gay people can use people too. Gay people can use straight people. And it's sad. Look at Joly is breaking away from the church. I mean, I'm not sure what's going on with this person's head, but is that really unity? Is that really, keeping good relationships with your allies? I really hate that word, cringe word. It's not. So for this person to be deceptive like that and to have a plan and then to break away, from the people that assisted Joly to get the little LGBTQ center, the funding it needed, the 503c status or whatever status it got, some sort of a status, and only to turn his back on everybody else. It's ridiculous. I hope you guys are following this. I keep saying he or she. I am not. I look at this person, it's weird. I look at this person, I don't know if they're in transition to be a man or a woman. I'm not saying that to be a dick.
Excuse me, it's not ma'am. It is not ma'am.
That's the other thing I want to bring up. This person, when they were trying to change some town rules for LGBTQs, whatever. Again, I'm sorry, I don't know the specifics. They went to an auditorium and to state their case and try to pass with a 5-2 vote. Again, I don't know what specifically it was, but it was something to help gay people in the town from being I forget what you call it. Anyways, help gay people in town. But this person had pictures, comments, and everything thrown at him about his looks, which again, looks are I think people should be ashamed of themselves if they're making fun of somebody because of their looks. It's pretty low.
There is always exceptions to the rules. Shh.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I did okay. We just fucking get rid of that shit. Oh god, I'm a slobber bitch, aren't I? Okay. I'm sorry, I'm a soy-filled bitch in flag your videos.
And this person, again, I'm doing it right now. I'm not making fun of them, but I'm just knowing the fact that I don't know if that person is transitioning or not. He's a very interesting looking person, but to have stuff like that, float around and make fun of your looks and stuff, so be it. It is the world. He took it with grace and whatnot, and it is what it is at this point. But I mean, the town obviously sounds like it's so screwed up. Anyways, I don't know. There was a person, Jeff Graves, who's a local drag queen who helped raise funds for Joly's legal defense, said that he would attempt to pursue reversing the donations raised by people in the town if Joly is found guilty. He says he feels betrayed right now, and again, there is a lot of fake hate crimes. I do believe this is going to end up being one of them. Do I know that for sure right now? No, let's not take a position. So I hope that this person, Jeff Graves, you kind of look at this and just weigh all the possibilities. I mean, there could be this interesting thing that comes out and says, oh, this person's innocent or whatever. Same thing with Jussie Smollett.
Yes, I am. I'm the gay Tupac. What's good? What's good?
Again, trying to be reasonable. We all kind of inherently know the answers to all these cases. They're most likely hoaxes, but let due process happen, let the law work its way out, let a ruling happen, and let's see what the verdict is. Let's wait for that. Until then, we can always, there's zero wrong with coming up with assumptions and theories, conspiracy theories in this. There's no problem with that. We're people, we're naturally entertained by this. And when we don't have a lot of information, that's what we do. We try to add up, we try to solve the puzzles. Some people like working on crossword puzzles. I like trying to figure out different scenarios when it comes to situations like this, especially fake hate crimes. So yeah, it's a little interesting. For a while, I'll be honest with you, I thought if this person is doing this, if Joly is guilty of this, You're an attention whore. I have no sympathy for you if it's found that you are guilty. You know, it would just be a shame. I just keep thinking about those animals and what kind of a heart he must have had to be okay with that. And if not, then I'll take those words back. You know, if you are innocent, it is what it is. At this point, what are your guys' thoughts? Do you feel that this person is guilty? I think there's a high probability that Joly is guilty, and there's a high probability that he will be found guilty. Reasons as to why this person would do this, I would just classify it under needing attention at all times. The abandonment of the family when she was young, and trying to cling onto stories, trying to cling onto people, to things, which just, with the pets, it confuses me, because why would you, I don't know, maybe to make it more dramatic, use the pets that you love as a sacrifice. Sad. It's just really weird to think about it. Anyways, what are you guys' thoughts? Let me know in the comments below, and I really do appreciate you guys watching my last video about Jussie Smollett. I did not know it was going to get that much attention. But thank you, and I will. I've been very busy, but when I have time, I'm going to go and respond to as many of those comments as I can. If you don't see your comments in my videos, feel free to let me know. There's a lot of comments that I don't even know how to use all of YouTube's back end, but I know that there's a place where the comments, like if they're being held or whatever, I don't care what anybody says, as long as you're not trying to hurt people. I really could care less. You can make fun of me, you can make fun of my looks, you can make fun of, you can cuss, you can swear, you can do whatever you want in the comments. I don't have a lot of time to go and, you know, uncheck and approve every comment. It's like hundreds of them, and I know it's only going to grow. So again, like, hate, subscribe, unsubscribe, share, don't share. I do love it all. Peace out.
Yay. The fact that he's wearing a unibrow. The fact that he shaves everything. Yay. The fact that the hair on his back. Yay. The fact that his hair on his back. Super gay. The fact that the hair on his fucking chest. Yay. The fact that his hair on his fucking chest. Gay. The fact that the hair on your nuts. Gay. I don't have none. I want to see that. Gay. Gay. So you gay? No hair. God. Clean. Are you actually showing it? Yes. He doesn't know. He looks at it. Great. Anyways, I'm sending you the video without looking at it.